France. And now over here in Pakistan, as a part-time passion, as a part-time hobby, I'm working on a project for the last 10 years, and it's coined Women Empowerment through Sports in Pakistan. How do I empower women so they can be at par with men in this country? Over here, otherwise, I'm heading the Pakistan Cricket Board Museum project. I'm making the museum also, as I have a passion for archiving our sports heritage. I've got a private museum in London, and the cricket museum I'm making is in Pakistan. So there are a lot of things I'm doing as a pastime hobby. And it's very, otherwise I'm working 9 to 5 from Monday to Friday. So this is a very taxing and demanding passion. I'm working on two hobbies. I've got my own museum. I do my exhibitions. I've done 2 exhibitions in London, 1 in Paris, 3 in Dubai, and 4 in Pakistan. This is sports heritage of subcontinent from 1860 to 1960. So I'm archiving the sports heritage, and on the other side, I'm also working on women empowerment through sports. This has been very interesting last 10 years. I started this in 2014 when I came back from England. And I'd like to tell you what all I've done in last 10 years. It has been very taxing, very demanding, but emotionally a great satisfaction. I think all of you know that how much restrictions are on women from developing countries, especially Islamic countries. They have some social constraints on practicing sport. In Pakistan, it's gradually coming better, but it's going to take a long time. Currently, it's only in the urban areas, not in rural areas. So I think it's very, very important for girls in this part of the world that they should be at par with men when coming to running the country, and there should be ample opportunities for them to play sport.
Okay, thanks,
Now,
Mr. Yaya. I am going to start the webinar officially, if that's okay. So welcome, everyone. My name is Kanai Haneshi, and I am the Secretary General of Women's Sports International. And today's webinar is titled Changing the Life of Women in Pakistan Through Sports. So I'm sure you all are familiar with the how to use a Zoom at this point. But just for the reminder, please mute yourself during the session by clicking the mute button. And the closed caption or subtitle is available for you. So if you need a subtitle, click CC button for the live caption or subtitle. And feel free to make a comment or introduce yourself or ask questions in the chat during the presentation as well. So here's the agenda of the day. So we will start with a welcome message from the WSI President, Ms. Diane Hoffman. And I will introduce you again. Mr. Yaya has been, fantastic. But anyway, he has already spoken a lot about himself. But I am going to introduce himself one more time, and then I will hand over to Mr. Yaya. And then after his presentation, we have a Q&A, and then we are going to finish this webinar quickly, talk about WSI and WSI membership quickly. So that's the agenda. So we are starting with the welcome message from WSI President Diane Hoffman. Diane, please.
Thank you, Kanai. And I would like to welcome everybody, and in particular our guest speaker today. And hearing your background, Yaya, I'm just totally enamored by what you are doing. And congratulations on all this work and effort. I think the people attending today are in for a very interesting review and overview of what's happening in Pakistan, and it seems to me much further and beyond Pakistan, the efforts that you're putting in and maybe the impact it's having overall. So we're very proud that you accepted our offer to conduct this webinar for us today. And I hope that everybody, while you're listening today, are able to have some of your questions answered as well, because many of the people today are research-based people who are fascinated by some of the results and efforts that you're making. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the work that you're doing and your lifetime commitment to it. And I'm turn it over to you now to tell us more about you and your efforts. And everybody, please feel free to ask questions and engage yourself in this conversation today. That's what it's all about, for women in sport and people around the world to understand the issues and complexities of ensuring that women have opportunities in life to participate at all levels. So thank you.
Thank you very much. That's indeed, I'm very kind of you to say such nice words. Well, before I start the presentation, you all have to please bear with me that I have added all the small things which mattered in making up this project in the last 10 years. So it might, some of the things are of a very small nature, but all the things were necessary to get together for the success of this project. So I'm sure you will understand this. So
Yes, thank you. Then, well, now we're gonna hand over to Mr. Yair Ghaznavi. So feel free to share your screen and then start your presentation. Thank you.
thank you very much. Yeah, so we start this presentation now. We have the Pakistan flags, two green and white. White is for the minorities living over here. And then on the left side, this is one of the cricket matches I organized as part of my program. Now, just to tell you a bit about women empowerment, it's very rightly said that the well-being and socioeconomic advancement of families, communities, and nations depend on the empowering of women, whether urban or rural. So it just tells us that how important it is for women, especially in developing countries, to get education, to play sport, and be at par with men when it comes to running the affairs of the country. Now, to tell you briefly about myself, that this was the initiative, the drive behind what all I've done for the last 10 years. And the schools which I've worked with include mainly underprivileged schools, including charity schools, special schools for girls with hearing impairment, and girls living in Pakistan, sweet home and orphanage, and certain government-run schools. So these are the schools mainly I've worked with in the last 10 years, because I feel that underprivileged schools need our maximum attention, especially in this part of the world. And I used to organize events on annual basis, but due to the coronavirus, there was some break in my program, but hopefully I'm going to start again this year. And so it's going to go on, hopefully. Now, how I'm going to go through it, I'll tell you something briefly on the literacy rate of women in this country, their participation in sports and physical activity programs, and my project, how it all started in 2014. The projects I did in Lahore with the US Consulate, Peshawar Zalmi, a Pakistan Super League team, and the projects I did with the British Council over here in Lahore. This was in honor of Prince William and Kate Middleton. We invited her as part of the project to interact with young girls and boys from underprivileged schools. then I'll be very happy to share with you on organizing a sports day in a village. So women's sports in villages is unheard in this part of the country. You just can't think of it. There's so many social restrictions. But I'm glad to have initiated this project in a village which was about 65 miles from my home in Pindi. And it turned out to be very successful. And now I do it annually. And I'm going to tell you about 3 women who made a name in Pakistan sport, and I have their video messages of their experience of practicing sport in Pakistan. One is Rabia Kareem, a national baseball player. Then is Fiza Abid, who joined this project with me in 2014, and her journey to success, and Sara Jabi, a fairy tale story of how cricket changed her life, or traveled from Kailash Valley bordering Afghanistan to Sydney. Now, those of you who have an interest in history, Kailash Valley is in the north of Pakistan, bordering Afghanistan, and the legend is, and it's a fact that they were from Alexander's army, and the war-wounded soldiers who couldn't travel ahead, so they decided to stay back, and for thousands of years, they practiced their own custom, their religion, their traditions. They look very different from other people. The girls are extremely good looking. The men have Roman nose and colored eyes, and the girls are very good looking. And for quite some time, people from Greece have been visiting this Kailash Valley, and they think that they're all Greeks. Their language is very different. So it's a very interesting story of Sara Jabi, which I'll share with you. Now, to tell you very briefly, especially for listeners and viewers who are interested in some statistics, that Pakistan is the world's 5th most populous country. I didn't know the population as per the census in 2024, and the female population is over 101 million, which around 64 million live in rural areas. So most of the population in this part of the country, they live in rural areas, and very less percentage live in urban areas. That is one reason, because there are less participation of women in sport, because there are very few female schools in rural areas. So the literacy rate in villages is not very encouraging. The government is working on it, but it's going to take a long time. Now, unfortunately, there's a lack of growth in female education. For the boys, there has been some growth, but for the girls, it has come down. There are various reasons for that. Maybe that they don't have enough opportunities, or they are not being encouraged by the parents to study more in the villages. That by itself is a different topic, but this relates to my topic. But here I'll give you a journal preview, but this requires a study and deliberate, somebody especially doing research on female education in this part of the country. So this is the literacy rate in Pakistan, the provinces of Punjab, Sindh, the frontier province, and Balochistan. I'm sure it's not very encouraging. Now, coming back to the participation of women in sport, well, it's very discouraging to say that almost 90% of Pakistani females do not participate in sports or physical activities. I'll touch the reasons, the factors for this result in my coming slides, but that's very disappointing. Now, I'd like to share with you the factors discriminating Pakistan's women's participation in sports. You have to please understand that cultural and social values matter a lot when it comes to female participation in sport. And Pakistan, like other Islamic countries like Saudi Arabia or Qatar, all other countries, they have certain reservations on women participation in sport. But gradually, this is improving now. But there's still a lot to be done. Like I think that in the Olympics contingent, you need to have a female participant in the contingent. Otherwise, you can't take part in the Olympics. So that is a very good decision by the IOC. But it will take a lot of time for this percentage of women taking part in sports to go higher. In the villages, it sounds difficult, but there is a hope in cities, in urban areas. Now, we have to understand what are the social barriers in different countries. Now, I'm going to talk about my country, that what social barriers are over here. You know, one is that a social system branding female participation in sport as a violation of cultural values. That because over here, it's the female sports are not very encouraged, and culturally, it is seen that people don't feel good that girls are practicing sport. So, like I said, it is improving, but it's going to take a long time. The cultural restraint is very much there. In the village, of course, it's very strong, but in the cities, it's still there. In the main cities, two or three main cities like Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Karachi, Lahore, you know, they are big cities. Uh, there, the girls have less pressure, but playing in public places in Pakistan, female sports in public places is very difficult. But in cities, there are girls who practice sport, but this percentage is very low. And then strong reservation on female sports by politically motivated religious groups. Now, I don't want to get involved in a discussion on religion, but Islamic countries have a reservation on female participation in sports. Some countries are a bit modern and some are not very, they don't have a modern approach. So in Pakistan, the religious groups, they discourage female participation in sport. Like I said earlier, things are getting better, but a very slow pace. The reservation is still there. So this is the second reservation which hampers the growth of female sports in Pakistan. One is the cultural values. Second is the religious constraints. Then is the family pressures on females. I've seen over here that uh, at times your parents allows the girls, okay, you can go and play, but then there's a lot of unnecessary pressures from the relatives, from the friends, that your daughter is playing sport with males, with she's training under male coaches and all that. So yes, there is a lot of interference uh, from other friends, from families who discourage that to friends that your daughter shouldn't take part in sports and all that. It's okay at the school level, within the school, but not outside the school or public places. Then there's some economic constraints for female students, like going back from school, going back home, then coming to the playground again in the evening, using public transport and all that. And then, they have to come back early. So there are some economic constraints for the female students also. And then, you know, there's a shortage of female schools in rural areas. The first step of promoting female sports in any country is at schools, where the girls get together, where they get together, they make friends, and it's easy for them in this part of the world to play sports first within their school premises, and then is some of them want to pursue sports, then they could go into college and pursue sports. But if there are less female schools, and obviously then there are not many girls are playing sport. And sometimes there's one school in one village and the other school is about 15, 20 kilometers. So it becomes difficult for the female students. There's no public transport running in the villages to go from one school to the other school. So lack of schools in rural areas has been one reason of not very encouraging participation of female in sports. And then, like I said, that this is the fifth most populous country in the world. And there's only one sports complex in this country, which is exclusively for women. So this shows that there needs to be more sports complex for women, because this would make their participation easy, and they could practice more and they would feel more comfortable with female coaches. So we need to have more sports complex for women. Then, of course, we have lack of female coaches and sports teachers. Now, I've talked to many girls who practice sport, and they feel very uncomfortable with male coaches. But what can they do? Because there are not enough female coaches, and there are not enough PE teachers in female schools. So some of them, they get very upset, they give up sports. Maybe few of them would like to continue, but they don't feel comfortable with male coaches. Then, like I said, that the playing facilities are mostly in cities. In rural areas, they've got no schools and they've got no playing facilities. Even there were exclusive female facilities in some villages where the girls could go after school hours and play. That's not there. Then, there's an absence of broad-based national policy, because Pakistan has 4 provinces, and every province has got a very different culture when it comes to women participation in sports and physical activities programs. So, Punjab is basically a bit liberal. The frontier province bordering Afghanistan, they are very strict. They don't allow much participation of women in sport. They don't feel very happy with it. And the girls can play sport, but it's only within the schools. And similarly, Sindh is a bit liberal, but then the Balochistan is very conservative. So there is not a broad-based policy for women, because all the 4 provinces have different cultures. And then, of course, like I said, there's lack of female teachers over here. Then, of course, parents have a concern on safety issues of girls if they go to play sports in the evening, and they think that the girls are not very safe, and coming back home, when the girls are coming back home, it's not very safe. They have to be back at early, and their parents don't feel comfortable if the girls are practicing with a male coach, or if there's a one ground and the males are practicing over there and females are practicing over there. Parents don't feel very comfortable with it, and they discourage it. Now, I told you briefly about the restrictions women have in Pakistan. And now I'm going to touch briefly on my pilot project. This was near a village, Saidpur village cricket ground. It's known as Saidpur village. It's not in a village. It's in the capital of Pakistan. This is the ground where I started my initiative 10 years back. And it was mainly due to the personal interest of then the Australian High Commissioner Peter Hayward and his wife Susan Hayward. This is Peter Hayward with the cricket bat at one of the events, and on the right is his wife, Susan Haywood, and she's giving prize to one of the participants, a female player with hearing impairment. I coached her to play cricket. And this is, I worked with the Canadian High Commission, and they donated playing shoes to this underprivileged school. Very sporting of them. So we arranged shoes for the girls, and we arranged playing kit for the girls. I'll tell you more about it. Then we had an organizing team. This was the early one. And we have the Canadian High Commissioner, Greg, the British High Commissioner, the Australian High Commissioner, his wife, and other people. This was my organizing team, and we organized the matches together. And I did all the coordination with different stakeholders. Now, to tell you briefly, who all were my partners when I started this project in Islamabad, for the Australian High Commission, the hotel, the Canadian High Commission, Islamabad Cricket Association, the Cricket Ground Authorities, Islamabad Police providing the security, a team of volunteers, and there was a root school system managed by Rifat Mushtaq. So these were the stakeholders working with me. And the good thing was that everybody had its own responsibility. There was no transaction of money between the stakeholders. Everybody was responsible for his own self. So I just coordinated that what all responsibilities had to be done by each organization. Now, to tell you more about how I started it was, of course, the selection of schools and selection of supporting staff, coaching plan, how to select the teams in the schools, and how to organization in Islamabad supporting us, delegating responsibilities to stakeholders, and the competition. So how I started it was the first thing that I used to train 4 schools every year. And like I said, that is the schools I worked for, the girls' schools. I looked at underprivileged girls' schools because they are the most deserving in our society, and they seldom have opportunity for outdoor activities, sport activities. Some of them don't have playing shoes, some of them don't have tracksuit. So I started working with them, and I had there were some charity schools, there was an orphanage, and there was girls' school with hearing impairment. So I thought that these girls would never have cricket equipment. So let's give them the cricket equipment to play cricket, and give them clothes and shoes and everything. So 4 schools were selected every year. Now, how I used to do it, that the matches were held, there were 5 days of coaching plan, and the match was held on the 6th day. And the champion school used to qualify for the next year. And the remaining schools used to keep on getting the sports equipment, because I wanted them to play throughout the year. They win or lose, but they play throughout the year. And I used to visit the schools once in 2 months just to see that they're still playing and they are maintaining a cricket team. And it was always very encouraging for me to look at them playing sport within the schools now. And just to show them that this was a charity school, and the girls were from very, very, very poor families. It was heartbreaking to when I was making their team. They didn't have shoes, they didn't have playing kit and all that, but we managed them, and well, they were very happy with this program. So this is one of the schools. It was a charity-run school. This is a school team I made for the girls suffering from hearing impairment. Now, it was very important for the coach to learn sign language first, and for me to learn sign language first. Because in Pakistan, it is unheard of coaching girls with hearing impairment. But I was very keen, and to be honest, these girls with hearing impairment, they are probably the most deserving in society. Unfortunately, most of the girls with hearing impairment over here, they get married, are not even 18. And that's very unfortunate. And when you talk to them, they have got no plans about how to choose a career in life and what are their interests, because they just live there in their own shell. So when I got in touch with them, initially it was difficult to communicate with them, but later on we all became very good friends, and some of them said that I would like to work in a bank, I'd like to be a teacher, and the cricket did change their life, and I was very happy, and I made a lot of these friends from the team who are all suffering from hearing impairment. Now, this was an orphanage uh, center, and I went there and I told the coaches to select team from here also. The girls were orphans, they had their parents were dead and they were being raised in this orphanage, very deserving. And this is a government school team. Of course, they also had very limited resources. Now, well, it will be interesting for you that how I managed it. The supporting staff was one head coach to monitor the coaching plan at all schools, and there were 2 female coaches for each school. I used to manage these female coaches, and coaches used to work as respective team managers, and they used to work as umpires on the competition day. And then there were 3 persons organizing the post-match ceremony on the competition day, and I had a team of volunteers. Now, I used to give them equipment for the tennis ball cricket. And so the 2 coaches for each school working under the head coach conducted a 5-day coaching plan organized within schools. This is normally from Monday to Friday. So I used to select 4 schools every year, and there were 2 female coaches for each school. One was a head coach, and these 2 female coaches used to make a coaching program in the school for 5 days. And the coaching staff of a respective school would select 15 girls from each school to be part of the team. And in total, 60 girls used to take part in the annual event. And, so every year I was training 60 girls in sports. And it was not only sport, it was changing their lives. So on Saturday or Sunday was the competition day. All teams placed against each other, and the champion school qualified for the next year. The other schools, they would continue playing, as I used to give them cricket kit. Now, the interesting thing was delegating responsibilities, because if some of you would like to organize events like this or work on a project like this, it will help you in planning. Well, then they at the stadium, where the grounds, I used to organize the competition. We had venue branding. I used to arrange transport facilities for schools. The poor schools didn't have any transport for the girls to go from their school to the respective playing ground. So these were all arranged by sponsors. I used to delegate responsibilities. I gave you a list of them, that I had given them responsibilities. The best part of all this project is that there is no transaction of money between stakeholders. Everybody knows what he has to do. Like refreshment, lunch for players and match officials, sports equipment, seating arrangements at the venue, security at the venue, playing kit for each. There was some token money to the coaching staff, post-match ceremony, prizes, and taking volunteers on board, training the volunteers what all duties they have to do. Now, like I said, if you could, this is one picture from the competition day. There are parents sitting and the students from respective school and parents, and the girls are playing matches. This is a beautiful ground, in the background, it's Margala Hills, and it was raining on this day when I took these photographs, but it was a very good match between all the four schools. Now, from Islamabad, I come to Lahore, the provincial capital of the programs I did over there. Now, in Lahore, I organized this event with the US Consulate and Peshawar Zalmi, a team of the Pakistan Super League. And we got girls together from two provinces, from Punjab and the frontier. Both these girls were from different cultures. Some of these girls had never been to Lahore, the provincial capital of Punjab. So my idea was to not to have sports for them, but to create an opportunity where there's an integration between different sections of the society. So these girls who are coming from a comparatively conservative province, they will meet girls who are from a comparatively liberal province. So they would play with each other, they would make new friends, and they would know more about life, So like integrating different sections of the community. So I brought these girls together from two provinces. And this was patronized by the US Consulate, Peshawar Zalmi, a Super League team, very well known in this part of the world, and the Cricket Academy, where my museum is. So we three got together and organized this camp. So girls from different schools were called, the four schools, were 40 girls were invited, 20 from the frontier province KP, and there were 20 girl students from Lahore, the provincial capital. And we invited them, and first every girl was given a new dress, playing dress. Then they were told on the basics of fitness training by a qualified staff, how important it is for them to practice these fitness training exercises in schools when they go back. And I called over girls from the national cricket team. They are based in the academy where I work. So I brought these girls over. I told them to join the girls, that when the girls will feel very happy to be with national team players, and they should be part of the coaching plan. So this is one of the international coaches, Mohsen Rashid. He's teaching girls how to play a forward stroke, or the proper stance when you play for forward stroke. These are the girls doing a batting practice. We organized in the indoor hall. And there were some lighter moments after the coaching. Girls talked to officials from the US Consulate, and the girls, I had a very good session with the girls, talking to them about their experience. And it was very good, after the coaching session, they were very expressive what all they have learned and how happy they are, because some of the girls had never been to another province, and some of the girls had never been outside their village. And every girl was given a prize, everybody was a winner. Although we made 4 teams, they played against each other, but we gave prizes to every girl. There was a participation medal for each girl. And we call this Shine Shah Fridi. Is probably one of the top class bowlers in international cricket now. So I called him over to meet the girls, and the girls were so happy to meet a sports hero. They really were very happy, and they said, we are going to play cricket when we go back, and one day we'd like to be with the Pakistan women cricket team. And they were all very thrilled, and they were eager to do something in life. And that is what I really wanted them from. I wanted them to change their attitude towards life and dream about doing something great. Now, I invited a celebrity model, Maureen. This was part of the whole program. You know, it was organized like this, that the girls will play cricket, the girls will meet international male cricketers, the girls will meet some women working in film and media. So like they're coming from another province. So this trip is fun for them. Now, this is another project we did was inviting Prince William and Kate Middleton. Now, here I'd like to say something that the British Council in Pakistan is working under a Dosti program. Dosti in my language means friendship, which looks at empowerment through sports. So we got together because I'm also sharing the same passion. So when we talk to each other that what could we show Prince William and Kate when they come at the academy. So we thought that this is, well, let's call young girls and boys from underprivileged school and let's invite the royal family to play cricket with them. And what they certainly something the girls would dream of. So we invited Prince William and Kate to visit the academy, and they met the girls over there. Kate and William are meeting the female players. We invited female players, we invited young boys, we invited some international cricketers. And but of course, the main attraction was the royal family and these young girls would come over from different cities. This is Kate batting. This is Kate batting, a young female cricketer. I'm sure this young girl will remember this day for the rest of her life. Prince William is batting. And this is a group photograph of the girls and the boys. And here I would like to say that the royal family was very open. They talked with the boys and girls. They had photo sessions with them. And the young girls felt very, very comfortable talking to the royal family. Now, I'd like to tell you something more about this sports event I organized in a village for girls. And this was indeed a big challenge because female sports in village is something you can't, it's not heard of. And I went to this village and there was no ground in this village. So what we did was that, I'll show you in the next slide. Yes, this is the village and this was a freshly mowed cornfield. And we made these white lanes with white chalk powder. And we made the lanes with this white chalk powder because there was no ground over here. So we thought that we could use these lanes as a running track for the young girls. So we got about 30, 35 young girls, and we had to convince their parents that that's fine, it's perfectly all right. It's more of fun, and if they would like to come and see the young girls playing, they're welcome. So most of the parents, they came over, they wanted to see what is happening. So we started the proceedings with the national anthem. So all the participants were lined up at the national anthem. Now this was a spoon race for the girls. So I was initially not very sure, to be very honest, what sport to organize for them because they had never played any sport. They had never played any game. So the easiest for me was to organize a spoon race for them. So we got this spoon and they had this boiled egg on it, the top, and they had to run and not to drop it. So they were very excited, very happy. And for me also, it was something very satisfying to see these young girls in a happy mood. Now, this is one of my prized photographs. You see, just look at the excitement on the face of these young girls. And and you see the white chalk lanes we made in the cornfield. This was to make it look like a track in an athletic ground. And I told the girls that you have to run within your lane and you have to run as fast as you want, as you can. So I explained them that you have to run about 25 meters or so. So I think this was for the first time in their life, they ran like this. And if you look at the photograph, they're running barefooted. They didn't have any running shoes. They never played any sport. They didn't have any running shoes. So they were running barefooted. But if you look at the excitement on their faces, it will tell you that how much they enjoyed the event. Now, there was a prize for every school, you can see me in the middle wearing the cap and blue jeans. So I gave prize to every girl. They were given copies, notebooks, colored markers, pencils, stationery items, every girl. And initially they were very shy in talking to me, but gradually it became all right. So there was prizes for every girl. There were cups for every girl. Now I come to three girls, female players I would like you to know about. So what was their experience of female sports, practicing sport in Pakistan? And what was their experience and how do they see it now? This is Rabia Kareem, she's a former national baseball player. And now she is the Deputy Director of Sports in Lahore College for Home Economics, a very famous college over here. She is working in that college, a very good friend. She keeps on visiting my office. She's planning to do her PhD now. And she is planning to go to Portugal for her PhD. This is
Hi there, this is Rabia
please,
Kareem.
Karan.
I'm a former national basketball player and a swimmer. I represent my country as a manager of a baseball team
I'll just increase the volume.
in China. Currently, I'm doing job as in charge sports in University of Home Economics, which is one of the renowned. Hi there, this is Rabia Kareem. I'm a former national basketball player and a swimmer. I represent my country as a manager of a baseball team in China. Currently, I am doing job as in charge sports in University of Home Economics, which is one of the renowned University of Pakistan. I face lots of social pressure from my fellows, my relatives, and from my teachers. Other than the social constraint, I felt so uncomfortable with my many male coaches during my training. They uncomfortable me by saying double meaning words, or sometimes they try to touch me inappropriately. I am happy with Mr. Yaya's program, which is on empowerment of women, which makes women to give chances to play, to train in a very well mannered institution, and it will give the young women to take part in national and international sports. Thank you, Mr. Yaya, to starting this empowerment program.
Next. Well, I did tell her to talk much about me. That wasn't planned, I just told her to send me a message of how did she feel about this program, Women Empowerment. Anyway, she's a nice lady. Now, next girl I'm going to talk about is a very nice girl. She joined me in 2014, 10 years back. And there are three sisters. She was a very nice girl. She had some family issues, and but she was very serious on playing cricket. and she thought that playing cricket is something which keeps her going. And she was the one who started working with me in 2014, and she worked very hard. She worked very hard, and then she applied for Evening Scholarship in England, and she got 1 year's scholarship. And then she went to Loughborough University, one of the top sports universities in Europe, and she did a master's program in sports management. How cricket changed her life. And I'll show you some of her photographs. This is her at the Islamabad women cricket team. And this is Fiza meeting Prince William. And this is she is talking to Kate Middleton also, and she's telling her about this program. And I like to you to listen to a video message, what she has to say, how cricket has changed her life. The video message I'll show you.
Hi everyone, my name is Fiza Abid. I'm a former first-class cricketer from Pakistan. I'm currently working for the British Tennis Association for British tennis events and also Wimbledon. I've also worked for the FIFA World Cup. I am a former achievement scholar from Loughborough University. I studied sport management. I remember my dream was always to play cricket for Pakistan. However, there were so many hurdles in terms of the lack of opportunities, lack of confidence from the society that really hindered my progress. And during that time, I remember I came across and got to actually be part of Sir Yaya's program that focused on women empowerment. And being part of that program not only helped me achieve my dreams, it actually helped me use my passion uh, beyond playing cricket. Cricket itself has given me so much confidence, but it's thanks to this program that helped me um, just continue pursuing my passion even when I got injured and could not play anymore. Example of this is I got to develop myself by being engaged in the annual schools cricket championship that has been organized by Sir Yaya from many years. And as an aspiring female coach, I got to develop my leadership skills, and it was such an amazing experience for me because that is a platform that is provided to special education center which has girls with speech and hearing impairment. There are different girls from different orphanages who get to play cricket. All of them play at an equal level. Being part of that program made me actually imagine the world beyond what I already knew. And it's all thanks to his efforts, his mentorship, that I am here today being one of the first few sport managers working internationally and inspiring other girls to really go after their dreams. Thank you, Sayaya, and thank you so much for your efforts. And I really hope that more and more girls continue to be part of this program and actually achieve their dreams.
That's very sweet of her to say it. I'd like to show you one of Fiza's photograph. This is a photograph. She's working for LTA now, the Lawn Tennis Association in England, and well, she really has worked very hard, and how sports has changed her world. You know, she worked in the FIFA World Cup, and now she's working in LTA, and I'm sure she's got a long way to go, and she'll achieve more success in her life. Now, lastly, I want to tell you about Sarah Jabin. If you look at her dress, this is the Kailash Valley dress, and this is in one corner of Pakistan. This valley is near Afghanistan border, and like I said, that the women from this valley are beautiful, and like I said, that they all trace their origin to Alexander's army, that they were Their elders were from his army and they were war wounded and they couldn't travel ahead. To look at the dress, it's a beautiful dress, and they've got a thousands old years old culture. Now you must be wondering that how in the world Sarah Jabi could get interested into cricket. She came to know about cricket when the first time cable came to the village, and she saw cricket on television and she fell in love with cricket. And she said, I'm going to play cricket. On the lighter side, for the first 3 years, she used to play in the village and she pretended to be a boy. And only her brothers knew, rest didn't know, and she used to comb up her short hair like a boy, and she used to play like a boy. And interestingly, she used to hit the ball very well, and she used to play as the wicket keeper. It's a long story how from Chitral she went to Peshawar, Peshawar to Lahore. She got in touch with me because her father knew my eldest sister. She was interested in tourism and she met her father, and her father told how interested she was in cricket. So my sister called me up, and then I came to know that Sarah is in Lahore. So I got in touch with Sarah, and she had already started playing cricket. She couldn't play cricket in Chitral and Peshawar. There was no female cricket club over there. She's such a daring girl. She said, I don't mind playing with boys. Somebody said that you're going to be in problem. He said, I'm not afraid of anything. I want to play cricket. So then I got her into a good club, and she herself was very talented. I've written an article on her life also, which was published in the newspaper here and in UAE, and I wrote her story. It was very interesting. So I'll tell you something how cricket changed her life. So from Kalash, she, after being to Peshawar and Chitral, she landed up in Cricket Academy where my office is. I met her. She told me about her dream of playing cricket, and I said, my dear Sarah, I'll help you in any way I can. And you work hard, you're going to be an international cricketer. And she's a very hardworking girl. So she started practicing cricket in a club, and she improved with every day. Now, this is Sarah, how she looks, how different she looks, like a tomboy. This is how she was when she joined a cricket club in Lahore. Now, like the Australian High Commission were also involved in supporting her, because I knew Josh Connors very well. He was in the Australian High Commission. And I told them about Sarah, and they said, we'll also help her. So they gifted her a cricket bat, which was made by this factory in Australia, which is specialized in making female cricket bats. So she was presented a cricket bat, and we had a small ceremony when we presented her a cricket bat. From here, Sarah, you would be surprised at how this fairy tale continues. I, with my friends, arranged her visit to Australia to play in this Parramatta District Cricket Club in Sydney. And I knew some friends who he got a free boarding lodging for 6 months, and we helped her through some good friends, and sent her to Australia for a 6 months training program. And boy, that changed her life. She was a very, very confident girl. She was an improved cricket player. Over here, you can let me tell you where she's standing. Yeah, Sarah is standing 1, 2, 4th from right. Sarah is standing with her team, and she played very well over there. She improved her game. She made new friends, and she said, I'm not going to look back. I'm going to play for my country one day, and I'm going to make history. the first girl from Kailash Valley to play international cricket. I was very happy to support this girl. She was a very hardworking girl otherwise, and it was fun working with her. Very sweet girl. Now, this is how cricket has changed her life. Wow. You would certainly say wow when you see this picture. On the left is Sarah in her village dress, and on the right is Sarah at Sydney Cricket Ground. This is how cricket can change your life. This is how sports can change your life. All you need is determination, never to give up. Sarah is one of those girls who never gave up in life. And I know she had to go through a lot of constraints, a lot of issues, but she was steadfast, and she has made a name for herself now. And now there's the whole village knows about her. And there's so many other girls who meet me from Lahore. They say, we also want to go to Australia to play cricket. You help Sarah, you help us also. I said, well, I helped Sarah because what all she went through was amazing. She told me that when she was studying in Peshawar, when she used to come back from the university, she had only 1 hour. And because the hostel warden would say that 5 o'clock you have to be back. She said, I used to literally run to reach the stadium and play over there and come back running so that I am back by 5 o'clock or 5:30, whatever the time was. Otherwise, the doors would be closed. And she's told me on the lighter side that when I was all alone, I was the only girl practicing with boys in the city of Peshawar, in the north of Pakistan. It's unheard for girls to play with boys. And she said that the boys were very apprehensive. She said they used to say that if somebody takes a picture of us playing with the girl, our parents would stop our cricket. She used to laugh and tell me that it was the opposite thing. Instead of me feeling scared, the boys used to say, don't photograph us playing with you, our cricket will stop. But that was on the lighter side. But I would like to tell you about her friends in village, what they feel about her, and that is very interesting for you also, and for me also. It's very interesting to hear what her friends have to say about Sarah.
Hello everyone,
This
my name
is
is Sarah Javin. I'm from Kailash.
I'll show you Sarah's message first, and then I'll show you what her friends have to feel about her.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Javin. I'm from Kailash Valley, Rampur. Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Javin. I'm from Kailash Valley, Rampur, bordering Afghanistan with a population of total 5,000 people. I'm the first girl from my community who is playing cricket. I had faced so many challenges to pursue cricket. I am fortunate enough to meet Mr. Yahya, and he gave me so much encouragement and support and helped me to visit Australia for 6 months. I had played 6 months club cricket in Australia. I'm the first girl from Pakistan who played club cricket in Australia for the first time. So many girls in my community are inspired from me, and now they also wanted to play cricket. My goal is to become a role model for all the Pakistani girls and inspire them to play cricket. I hope I'll represent Pakistan in international level soon. Thank you.
That was Sarah, very sweet girl, and I hope she plays for Pakistan someday. I'll personally be very happy for her. She has worked very hard in life, and I hope she achieves her dreams. Now, I'd like to tell you, I'd like to show you some messages from her friends back in a village in Kailash.
name is Anita. I'm from Kalashvili, Rumpur, and I want to say something about Saira. Saira's success is a war of confidence for us, and we also know she make a career of professional life in cricket. Of course, she will give us a lot of confidence. Thank you.
For most Shpata to everyone, my name is Kul. I'm from Kalashvili, Rambur. When first time I come to know about Saira Jabin, I was very happy. She is the first lady from whole Kailash Valley who got this massive achievement in her life. From the utmost of my heart and soul, I pray to God that one day Saira Jabin will be in Pakistan cricket team, and also I wish for his bright future. Thank you. Hello, my name is Farina and I am from Kailash Valley, Rumbur, and want to say something about Saira. We are very happy to know about Saira playing cricket, and one day I hope she will play for Pakistan. I wish for his best future. Good, good luck.
Well, these were some messages from Sarah's friends, and they were very shy in sending video messages. But you know, whatever they say, whatever little they've said, it certainly sends the meaning. And how much the tribe feels proud of Sarah, that she broke all barriers, all social barriers, and said that where there's a will, there's a way. And that is what sports is all about, you know, breaking the barriers and achieving your dreams. Well, to conclude, I'd like to say that it gives me a great satisfaction to see the girls happy in their new playing kit and playing before an audience in a disciplined and organized manner. During the last 10 years, my work has been quite demanding and taxing, involving tiring personal efforts. Yet during this period, 14 girls' schools have benefited from this program. Initially, the girls I came in contact with were very shy and reluctant to express themselves, but eventually they became very expressive. This program has created awareness for girls on the importance of sports and life and given them an option to achieve their dreams. The success of this program has encouraged other people to sponsor and fund such activities, and they have contacted me. Pakistan is a developing country with limited financial resources. It would be good if international donor agencies could show interest in funding sports facilities, especially for women. On the personal side, I I feel very proud also. I feel very happy. I feel very satisfied. And I thank God that He gave me this opportunity that I'm the first one of introducing cricket coaching for girls with hearing impairment. This marked his historic first in our country cricketing journey. I'm pleased to see that the girls' school now has a regular cricket team. I visit this school whenever I visit Islamabad, and I talk to the teachers. Some of the girls in the last 10 years have, of course left the school, and some of the girls are still there who are part of this program and have developed an everlasting friendship with them. And it's hard for me to describe in words how it was initially to learn the sign language, to communicate with these girls, and giving them cricket equipment, encouraging them to play cricket, coaching them in cricket. And Fiza, of course, was a special help for me in this program. So thank you very much for giving me your time, and I'm open to any question answer session.
Thank you, Mr. Yaya. That was amazing.
Right, Sakana.
Presentation. It was great work with the program. It was very impressive. So let's we're gonna move on to the question and answers or even comments. So anybody has any questions, comments?
Right, Sakana.
I'm floored. I'm speechless. It's an amazing presentation, and the work that you've done is incredible, and how you've changed the lives of the girls who otherwise would not even have the opportunities that you gave them. I'm very inspired. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your kind words. And well, for a thing like this, all you need is acknowledgement. I don't need any financial prize. I don't need any cup. I don't need any trophy. I don't need any financial prizes. All I need is that somebody to acknowledge me and say, well done, give me a pat on my back so I have the energy to move on.
You have it. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Muskan?
Yes, hello. I just wanted to say that I enjoyed the whole presentation, and I would especially like to thank Ruby for sharing it on her LinkedIn so I could see it and watch the whole session. It was really amazing. I'm from Pakistan myself, and I'm studying sport management. So to learn about my own country in such detail and all the initiatives that have been going on in my country really means a lot to me. So thank you so much, Sir Yaya, for sharing everything. And I would just like to say that I hope we keep on going in the right direction. And maybe if Ruby can share about the program that she and I are studying in, it's called the Goals International Master. And it's a fully funded program for people who really want to study and work in sport. These kinds of initiatives do encourage people, especially from Pakistan and developing countries like that, to join in. So we are also always open for collaboration opportunities or to encourage individuals from Pakistan to study sport management in Europe. So definitely we are always open for collaboration opportunities to have knowledge transfer of that sort, and really happy to see Pakistan grow and be in the right direction in terms of sports, especially for women. So thank you so much for everything that you shared here, and I hope to keep hearing more from Women's Sport International in Pakistan.
Thank you very much for your kind words. And I sincerely hope that there are other people also join me or they can work independently. Because I personally think that till the time women in this country are not at par with men when it comes to running the affairs of the country, we can't progress. Especially, we have to, in the villages, I would like to share my experience of when I used to go to villages and I used to see that when children had to go out, they never bothered to tell their mother they are going out. They'll just tell their father that they're going out and they'll be back in the evening or so. And then I realized that how important it is for the woman in the house to have a say in running the affairs of the house. It looks that she's only there to produce children and work in the kitchen. So that thing has to finish now. And we need to have more schools in the villages where the girls can study. And somebody in the government or somebody in the hierarchy has to acknowledge the fact that till the time you don't educate women in this country, you don't have organized sports and physical activities for them, they'll always be far behind. But I'm happy there's some spark somewhere. We have a national women cricket team. We are the Asian champions now. We have a football team. We have a hockey team. But then, of course, this is only restricted to 3 or 4 cities.
Exactly.
And it has to come to villages also. where the bulk of the population is.
Exactly, exactly. Because when I moved to Europe, I noticed that children, especially girls, they have been trained since their childhood. They have been so involved in so many different kind of sports. And me coming from Pakistan, I had no opportunities of that sort. Especially I wasn't encouraged to be involved in sport. Boys still they were involved in sport, maybe cricket or badminton, and football is growing maybe now, but so far there's like really less exposure in Pakistan for sports, especially for girls. And when we compare to people who are European, there have been so many more opportunities and so many more training programs since their childhood. So I think that is really something that we need to work on, and I'm really happy that we are on the right direction as you discussed now.
Yes, you're very right in saying it. And the other thing which I would like to highlight again for my dear viewers, Pakistan gets aid from IMF, from Asian Development Bank, for World Bank. And I think if they want to serve this country or they want to do something good for this country, they should have a special grant for sports facilities. And they'll say, okay, you give us the land and make this sport facility for you. And if they can really, the rich countries, if they can really help the developing countries, one way is through sport. Because there's so many things you're fighting when you're there. You're fighting against fundamentalism, you're fighting against terrorism. That you have to change the minds of the people. And like the Greeks say that you want to gauge a character of a person, just play any game with him. You'll at once know if he's a bad loser or not. So sports makes your character. So I think that it's very important for this country. It has there's only one exclusive female sports complex in this country, which is the fifth most populous nation country. So if there are some rich countries or rich organizations want to help this country, they can make a football ground, they can make a multi-purpose sports hall, anything, and so for the women in particular, so that they could enjoy sport.
Thank you. Ruby, you have a hand up?
Yes, I do. At first, I was going to ask you about your sponsors, but then as you unfolded your program, you were saying that there was no transactional money involved, and people were just pitching in. And that's really amazing. A lot of well-meaning sport events can't even progress because they don't have the sponsors. But in your case, people were just helping each other. But at the same time, as you said, if people want to donate or organizations want to donate or invest, it would be in active spaces where girls can feel safe, because most of the sport facilities are designed for male. And we do have, especially in Muslim nations, a need for safe spaces for girls to practice sport. So I hope through your presentation and as you go around speaking about this, there will be more and more organizations that will
Yes,
support your endeavor.
yes, you're very right. And you know, for for a smooth transaction thing, transparent thing, there is always a problem when you work in developing countries. There's some pilferage of amount or something like that. So the first thing which I did when I started this program was that I don't want to have one finance secretary who's keeping all the money and he's giving money for different expenditures. Nobody takes money from anybody. Everybody has been given the responsibility, like Serena Hotel, okay, you have to arrange food for the girls and drinking water. Let them do the expenditure. Whatever they want to do, that is their show. Whatever they want to cook for the girls, that is their show. So everybody over here, like if there is an international donor agency, like they want to make a stadium, okay, fine. We can come to this country and make a stadium for you, or make anything with a ground for you, something like that. But the problem normally comes, I'll be very honest with you, is that when the funding comes, it goes to different sources, and at the end, nothing happens. I'll be very honest with you. So I would say that if there's an international donor agency who wants to work for poor countries, like we have Bill Gates program for so many countries, they have the program to eradicate polio from the world, and Bill Gates is funding this polio program. So anybody like him would say, okay, I've got a plan for this country, and this is the area deserving most. I can make a sports facility for you. The country should give me the land, and I'll do it myself. I have my engineers, I have my architects, I have everything. So the problem always starts when the money is given to some organization in the respective country. And I don't want to go into details, but then that is where the problem starts.
I understand. Does happen. Yeah.
I'm glad you understand. And well, that is how it is. One can only wish and one can only hope, and that we get some people to do it. But I have my friends in Nepal also, and I'm glad that in Nepal a lot of sports facilities are coming up, and more and more people are playing sports in Nepal. More and more sports people are playing in Bhutan. So in the smaller countries also, sports facilities are gradually coming up. But they are always part of a broader national sports policy, a national health policy, a national education policy. If you follow it technically, it's a broad-based thing where the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Sports, they join together to make a broad-based policy.
Thank you
Carol,
for your answer.
Thank you very much.
Carol, you have a hand up? Carol?
Okay, I know we're running out of time, but I'm so happy to actually see you and hear your story, because we've known each other for some time now, over Facebook and electronic sources. I think that your dedication over time is really, well, as people have said, it's just remarkable. And I think I get a feeling that you don't like to talk about yourself, and don't like to have a focus on yourself. But I think that your story and how you came to this dedication that's been lifelong, I really think it's worthwhile for people to hear, and possibly decide maybe they could have such a lifestyle. So I really encourage you to tell your own story and how you were drawn to this mission. I think it would be very worthwhile.
Yes, I agree with you.
I second that. I think it would be wonderful if we could have that story, and it would be very nice to even be able to publish something like that with the Women's Sport International. I think what you're doing is your compassion and humanity is inspiring for everybody. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And well, I need support of people like you, because it gives me a great incentive to move on.
Yes.
And
Thank-
well, it's coming back to Sarah on the lighter side, Sarah, who played cricket in Kalashwali, the men have opened a cricket team in that village. The men are following her that we would also like to have a cricket team. This girl from our valley has gone and played cricket in Australia. Why can't we? So this is something very different that she has influenced the males also. Not only influencing females, she has influenced the males also how to achieve their dreams in life.
More definitely. Well, why we like to keep discussing about this topic, at times it comes down to the closing time. So thank you again, Mr. Yaya, for sharing all these things that you have done in Pakistan and in empowering the girls Pakistan through cricket. It was amazing story, and it was great to hear their voices through the videos. The PowerPoint was amazing, well organized, and it was a lot of pictures and a lot of videos. It was very easy to follow and understand too. So thank you so much for preparing for a wonderful presentation, and then thank you very much for taking your time and an effort to put this together for this webinar. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. God bless you all. And please
Thank
pray
you.
for me. All of you, remember me in your prayers. Please pray for me that God gives me a good health and the incentive and the urge to continue with my work. God bless you.
Yes, thank you. And then thank you everyone for joining us today. And we have recorded this session today. The recording will be available on the WSI website very soon too, shortly after. So thank you again for joining us today, and we will be certainly in touch. Thank you. Good to
Bye-bye.
see you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.